All right, we're back, and we're hopping into game one of the finals. Might have been a bit of an awkward start, but that's okay. It's also going to be the first time we see Invader today. It might be one of the rare times we ever see it because it's forced on the players for their first map, leading into, of course, loser's pick afterwards. But spawning here in the top right side of said map, Invader, it is going to be none other than Psystorm Gaming's True.
And his opponent up in the top left, we have the red Zerg player, Armani.
Now, there's something to be mentioned here for Armani and True with cross spawns, is this map is a little bit wonky when it comes to said spawns. These bridges are actually 100% planned to be removed by Blizzard to make these a little bit more tolerable. Now, luckily in ZvZ, this isn't going to be the biggest factor. This isn't exactly like Arena, where you got super, super short rush distances. But for other matchups, it's a huge, huge impact on things.
I'm really curious how ZvZ is going to play on this map. Like, is it actually going to be difficult to take a third expansion on this map in ZvZ? Or do you think that, like, just the high mobility of Zerglings and also just the fact that Roaches will tend to sit at your third anyways is just going to mean that not really going to be significantly impacted by it?
I don't know, like, this map, like, ignoring pathing and the map for just, or, sorry, not the map, if you ignore pathing and unit choice for just, like, 1 second, the worst thing I look at is, like, okay, your third's already hard enough to take, your fourth is, like, crazy no matter where you take it. Like, does this even go towards Roaches? This is, like, I imagine everything here says, let's do Banelings and Lings. And right now,
That's
Armani's
true.
setting up for this, but it could still just be defensive. I don't know. If he turns on the heat with this, then True's going to have to respond, and that's where we see this game get a little bit knife-fighty, and this matchup's been nicknamed. But as far as thirds and Roaches and chokes, I don't know, man. Like, this map is so often vetoed by everybody. We just don't get to see enough games on it from the pros to know what that dynamic looks like. And me not being a ZvZ player myself,
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you from my own experience.
You know, what's actually kind of funny is I feel like a lot of players may even just have this map struck. So it's possible that they actually just also don't really know what's going to happen. I mean, like, it always surprises me, like, how many players very early on in the season just say, this is a terrible map. And they just play, like, maybe 2-3 games on it and they're like, nope.
Well,
It's gone.
It's funny you mention that because it was Coral Carnage Knockout that was listed by everybody. You had Ink Control, especially in the late game, being rather belligerent about it. You had every player tweeting about it being a stupid map. Major had some of the funniest comments regarding scouting. But that being said, it's actually turned out to not be the worst map in the map pool. And Invader was, I think a lot of people were hoping would be amazing because it was made by Avex, ended up kind of being that worst map, unfortunately.
All right, well, we got a lot of Zergling aggression coming out from Armani, at least looking to be putting on some pressure over here, as he does have some of the Banelings, but going after that third expansion, this is what we're talking about. It looks like that third expansion is going to be hard to defend, just because I would say the Banelings take a while to get over here.
Yeah.
Man. Oh, good Baneling hit.
Okay, so 2 great Baneling hits do clean this up, and it's a little bit easier for True to now manage. Armani, though, like, he really didn't dedicate to that, and now is considering doing so with more Lings on the way. The lair finishes up too, and I guess this is a map where if you are going to have terrible terrain, something like Mutas wouldn't be too bad, and I think that's seems to be the direction he could potentially be heading. Still no Roachborn, still no Evo Chamber. I was going to comment that we've had a couple of people who've actually been using the front as wall-off material, Sulky and some others on this map. So something I thought maybe Armani was holding off on building his buildings for in order to do, but he's got the creep spread and he's not taking advantage of it. So I mean, at this point, it's got to be Mutas. I can't really see him going in any other direction.
Yeah, I mean, if the terrain is annoying for you to deal with, then just make units that don't have to deal with the terrain, but...
Well, actually, it's funny you say that, because this map has terrible air-like interaction. Like, this thing here causes huge problems.
Oh, yeah.
These things do as well.
I've
So does
seen
this.
that.
Like, trying to use air units on this map is rather tilt-inducing, actually.
Yeah, glad I haven't actually had to do it too much, but Spire does plop down, and kind of surprising, the Zergling that was in the main base actually dances all the way around the main base, but doesn't see the Spire. Just barely misses it.
I think he saw enough, though, to know that it's going to be a Spire, because...
Probably, yeah.
It's the lack of information that tells him all the information. You know, you get
as
over
well as, like,
here
the gas geysers.
Well, even with the gas geysers being what they are, it's more important that you saw no Roach Ward, no Evo Chamber. There was nothing to indicate, no third base. I mean, True got everything he needed to see by not seeing anything.
Yeah,
while this goes on, he throws down his own geysers, actually. He's got 6, and I guess he's going to be going for his own Spire and hoping out macro Armani with that third base, which is actually totally possible to do when it comes to Muta versus Muta.
Yeah, I mean, people complain about Spores not doing anything, but it's not exactly when Spores like are versus 5, 6 Mutalisks that they're not doing anything. It's when they start getting versus 10, 11, 12 plus Mutalisks that they really just don't feel like they're doing a whole lot. So I could very well see this actually working out quite well for True.
Ends up sacrificing the Overlord of the main for that dedicated scout. The Lings in the middle of the map also giving chase to the other Lings. I mean, this is... Okay, a Baneling catches True really off guard. I didn't even see that coming. That kind of just catches him right in that sweet spot. But his Spire's on the way. One Spore here and there, some Queens with it. It'll stave off low amounts of Mutas. The concern right now... Okay, he gets a good Baneling hit to counter that, by the way. The concern right now, though, is these Lings. Like, okay, you're going to have Mutas in the sky. Cool beans. Both players will eventually. But if neither of them can deal with the Lings, if there's constant run-bys, you pointed out earlier, the distance from the main to the third is very far, and it's hard to reinforce this. So if someone gets caught off guard, defending is not going to be easy.
I think that might be exactly what we potentially could see, but luckily for Armani, he does actually have those Zerglings already over there, but they're in slightly lower numbers. The Mutalisks are trying to get some damage done, but no, they pull all the way back as they say, like, wait a second, I actually don't have enough Zerglings to deal with this. It's exactly what you were saying, and he's buying himself time.
Yep, more Lings going to run towards the natural base, and True didn't have a lot of minerals going into this, funny enough, because he had made so many Lings, but he does have a ton of gas, so making more Mutas is not out of the question. 10 more on the way, in fact, to match the 10 that are currently in play. He is still going to be a little bit behind just due to the start of this, but I think when it comes down to it, with enough time, he should have more Mutas at the end of the day. And let's not forget Armani, he is going for armor upgrades. That does make up for a couple of Mutas here and there, but for the most part, it is still going to be numbers winning out in most situations.
Yeah, armor upgrades are actually really, really helpful in Muta versus Muta wars, but there's only going to be about a 60-second window that he'll have that +1 armor upgrade over True. And as you were saying before, True's just been mining that gas a little bit longer. Finally, Armani does get started up on that gas income over at that third expansion, but we'll see how well this is going to work. Of course, with the Queens also backing up True's Mutalisks as they start to come out. Well, actually, True's already taking the Mutalist advantage. He doesn't even need Queen support to take on.
This is a big part to do with what we were talking about before, though, with that third base. The gases being 6 much earlier than his opponent, he did get more to work with. And he didn't make a ton of banelings, he didn't over-invest, so his macro aspect of this game is fine, but this is where you start having those run-bys become problematic. Carapace did finish up for Armani, so in this very tight-knit Muta war, Armani does have a few more Mutas, and he does have Carapace, but I think the 5 or 4 roaming Queens with a couple of transfuses should have something to say.
Yeah, those Queens are on the hunt right now, as it's kind of cool to see the crease spread actually starting to get moving out further, and I think that's actually a really good reaction. I really like the idea of getting the crease spread going here, because yeah, it does make your opponents like Zerglings and everything faster, but your Queens can actually get to your third expansion also if you want to help a little bit of extra help defending not only against Mutalisks but against like Zergling run-bys and stuff.
Credit does need to go to True for not falling apart prior to this point. But you're right, that crease spread's going to be nice. We'll see if it comes into effect or not. Queen of the main is going to get sniped, though. Not a lot to really be done about this. The Mutas could engage this. I mean, it's questionable because some are low, but again, home field advantage goes a long way when it comes to many of these fights. I mean, transfuses especially.
I just like the small bits of damage that Armani is going for, because, yeah, it's not exactly sitting like at a Mutalist lead, but doing things like picking off a gas geyser, that actually does quite a bit, because it does allow you to get additional gas income over your opponent. It does give you an opportunity to maybe get a little bit further ahead, but oh man, the Mutalists for Armani are really far out of position.
He could have sniped off that Spire, I feel, too, with how out of position that was, but he didn't know that they were out of position, and that's the problem. So flying back home to safety... Gonna play this cool, gonna play it safe. Very smart move. Now, as far as the game advances, though, I mean, this looks like it's still gonna go Muta, and more Muta for both players, but while the emphasis and the focus on this game really does come down to the Mutas, Lings are what win games in this situation.
Yeah, they very oftentimes can. It's not just because of the counterattack stuff, but they also, I mean, they absorb Glaive Worm bounces if they're in the actual fight themselves. Like, there's a lot of advantages just having Zerglings running around.
I mean, I'm thinking a lot less about the actual fight and a lot more just like running around the sides of the map, picking off bases and getting drone kills where otherwise you shouldn't. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how this actually works out. But I mean, for Armani, it's kind of dangerous to be focusing the Mutas so closely. So on this side of the field, again, his upgrade leads are there. It's 1-1 versus only 1 for Carapace on True side, but. Again, one transfuse here and there really makes up a whole world of difference. Keeps that hatchery alive. Other side of the map, we do have the counterattack for Lings. This is what we're talking about. The Mutas are on the wrong side of the map for this, so not wanting to go for the third, decides to go for the natural base instead. Killing Queens will cut into larva production, and that's one thing. That's cool, but these Lings also deny some mining. They kill a lot of the drones.
Oh, wow.
I mean, this is... Well, again, a lot being 3 stopped and decides to go for the third base instead. Again, killing a Queen is not a bad choice at all. Meanwhile, Mutas decide to fly off, and Queens are going to try and defend this base. Transfuses being hammered into the hatchery, trying to keep it alive. Mutas heading towards the main for Armani.
Oh boy, it's going to try and get some damage on. Oh my god, this fire is going to be vulnerable. Once again, the Mutas block for Armani is coming back though, and it looks like it will be enough to chase off True. True also defending his own third expansion, just barely back at home, but having a little bit of loss of mining on that gas. Oh
he's
boy,
not done killing drones though. I mean, look at that count, still going up. 33 dead.
33 kills. There's only 14 drones left. He's left than he started with in the game. GG.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, there's 40-something Mutas for both players, and those had nothing to do with the end of the... Well, I shouldn't say nothing, but it was the Lings that won that first game. So congratulations to True, who does take a 1-0 lead to kick off these finals. But being that it is the finals, guys, we're going to be squeezing in a couple breaks where we can, and that's going to be right here. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 2 minutes with game number 2 when we return. Thank you, Anton Caridian, for the 24-month resub as well. All right, welcome back, StarCraft fans, for game number 2 here in the grand finals of this week's Olimoleague. It is on Dusk Towers, and spawning in the upper right side is going to be none other than Samsung Galaxy's Red Zerg Armani, who's currently behind 1 in the series.
And in the bottom left, we have the blue Zerg player from Psystorm Gaming. It's True.
And I feel like I need to screenshot this. Someone in chat said good insight by Rifkin. That's got to be like the first time anyone's ever said that.
Do you know what they were talking about?
Probably my Ling call on winning the game. It's almost like it's almost like I know StarCraft. It's just too bad no one ever gives
me. You watch more StarCraft than almost anybody else.
But no one ever gives me credit. So thank you. I gotta use his name. Let there be light. Thank you. Amazing. But also now,
if you're going to DreamHack Austin, I will give you
confirmed
an ZGB hoist shirt.
Confirmed Rifkin's alt account. Am I right? Now, True, by the way, I want to point out, did throw down early pool, early gas, so Lings and speed and all this wonderful goodness that we're used to seeing at ZvZ on the way. But I don't know, man. Like he got lucky last time he played this map versus Horror, and it was like embarrassing how easy that was to win. This time around,
well,
I mean,
okay.
First off,
he got really.
Well, first off, the
really
Overlord
lucky,
pathing
right?
is very different and very much something intended to catch this specific move. So that right off the bat out of his opponent is going to make this a lot easier for him to manage. On top of the fact that he's already, I feel like, his build order is good for this.
Oh, yeah. Oh my god, these Zerglings.
What the fuck? What? How does he know? No, how does he know? This is where we're just like, if True wasn't streaming, because True is streaming his own matches right now. This is where you start calling some bullshit, man. Like, what was that? That was...
If someone did this in my ladder game, I would be like, Map Hacks, what the hell?
Right, exactly. I mean, first off, fantastic moves out of True. He sees Lings, he sees Overlords, he's dancing around like a crazy madman to not have this revealed. And I just... credit goes to True. That, again, like if he wasn't streaming, I would be the first person to be like, okay, someone needs to look into this, right? But that was amazing and so sick. And now the Banelings come in undetected. However, it took so long to actually have this come into play. Ling's now darting across the map, and there should be good defense out of Armani. Hell, 2 Queens should be on that ramp, preventing these Banelings from getting up there. And this, for True, is not a good build if this fails, and it looks like it's going to fail.
Yeah, he's going to have a really hard time already losing 2 of the Banelings to the Queens.
Yeah.
Oh? Okay, not even getting great trades with the Banelings.
Oh, he runs into a Baneling too.
Banelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, True he's got less workers, he's got less income, he has less hatcheries, he has less everything. So while he took a very solid game 1 through macro and mutas on Invader, I don't think Dusk Towers is going to be his map.
Armani has only lost 1 Zergling so far.
Well, I mean, there's Banelings too.
I mean, like, and the Banelings, of course, that he like ended up using, but like, still getting good trades. GG. I just enjoy the fact that in the units, like resources lost, it was like next to nothing for Armani.
Yeah. Well, that's a very quick ties it up 1-to-1. We're going to not specifically not play ads right now because that just feels fucking wrong. Frozen Temple is going to be the next map selected by True. So again, it's loser's pick in the Olimoleague. Cheshire Cat just resubbed for 2 months. Thank you so much. I know somebody was asking about them earlier, so I'm going to talk about our sub count for a second. We've so far had a goose egg of 0 new subs this morning, but we are at 1,137 resubs, which, well, perhaps underappreciated by many or certainly appreciated by me, because while getting new subs is hype, I watch a lot of streamers who are very popular on Twitch get new subs. But I've also talked to a lot of streamers on Twitch who are very popular that don't have as many subs as we do, because we got them resubs, baby. So thank you guys so much for all resubbing today and being awesome and coming back. But we've had some 18 months. We had a 24-month earlier. I know Partouf recently resubbed for 30 months. Like, I can't get over how much that actually makes me happy to see.
Yeah, and that's always a good gauge, because Partouf is like the original sub, right? He's the #1 sub.
He's actually not. I think he's 3.
Oh.
I'd have to go look through that list.
You don't know who your #1 sub is, man?
My #1 sub?
Who's your
now
first
we're talking
sub?
like the first sub, yeah, or the sub I appreciate the most, because those are very different answers.
Oh, do you have someone picked out for?
Yeah, Riamar. He literally saved our lives in Germany. Like, how could you not? Like,
that is fair.
We gotta get O Gaming in here. Let me just invite him real quick.
Okay. Isn't it so nice that like you don't have to be admin or like lobby host to invite people anymore?
Well, she does this at semifinals, so I mean, this is kind of normal, I guess.
O Gaming is the OG TV whatever, right?
Oh, they're going to leave for WCS.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's just us. So let's just get this party started.
All right. Cool.
All right, guys. Frozen Temple coming up. We'll do a vote at the end of the stream. If you guys want us to host WCS, we will. I was planning on streaming some Overwatch afterwards, but either way, map intro. We'll see you soon. All right, game number 3 kicks off with a bit of fire and spice as both players on this very cold map are looking to turn up the heat with some early pulls and some early gases. It is tied up 1-1 here in the finals of the Olimoleague, and in the bottom right side of Frozen Temple, we've got Storm Gaming's True.
And up at the top left, we have the red Zerg player, Armani.
All right, I got to rate the straw poll real quick. So, and a stream poll /host WCSE Regional Challenger /host, I guess, True if he wins, bracket if he wins in streaming. Because he might just turn off the stream after. /host random StarCraft 2 streamer, Rifkin streams Overwatch. So you guys can pick what you want to see for the end of the cast, and we'll just go with whatever popular demand is.
Whenever you do a straw poll and stuff, do you feel like you're being one of those like reality TV shows that are like doing like the phone in now and vote for whoever you want to advance on to the next round, like kind of things?
You know, I never actually watched much TV or reality TV to get that feeling. Like I wouldn't like that's not something innate to me. So I'll say no, but I can certainly see how you could come to that sort of conclusion. We're just talking about having no news subs, but Raptor Drew wants to prove me wrong. Thank you so much for that sub. That's my worst Raptor impression of all time. But thank you so much for that sub, man. New sub hype. A couple of leagues going to be going on both sides of the map. Both players trying to do similar moves, but True actually is the one who takes a hatchery, and that's where this changes drastically because he's got like if he had these at home to fight with, he'd be fine. But
True didn't go for a Baneling Nest.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, he doesn't have. He's chosen the hatchery over the Baneling Nest. So if he had Lings at home to fight with, he'd be fine. He's not. But the same kind of funny irony is that if Armani moves out for the timing in which he's going to move out, True's going to be able to get in here with his own Lings and possibly catch him off guard as he leaves the base. He sees this with the Overlord too.
Oh, this is really, really well done. The timing works out perfectly.
He's going to pick off one of the Banelings for the hatch. That's huge. He's going to pick off another one.
He's going to pick up 2 of them.
Oh, no, but then he runs all the Lings into it. He won't.
He's going to get all of the Banelings.
He will. At the side of the map, he's going to get some drone kills, but the problem is he actually doesn't get the Banelings, just barely, and now he doesn't have anything to fight with to defend his natural, which was, again, the one thing he had going for him. He did kill a couple of drones on the other side of the map, but it only evens things up, and it's really not... nothing worthwhile. In fact, he only killed 1 drone. Pardon me, on the other side of the map. This queen's got to focus down that Baneling and look for those hits. She gets them.
Does get it. And gonna stay alive, too. Oh, losing all the Zerglings to that one Baneling. That is a little bit painful. Oh,
yeah. Unnecessary. Unnecessary. But we're in this situation now where the hatchery's down. It's actually going to live through this. And I think True's in a much better spot for it. The problem is, though, he's never going to be totally free of this Baneling aggression. And oh, look at Armani. I checked the vision of True. Doesn't see these at all. So these 4 Banelings would be Banelings? I guess they get caught by these Lings. 2 Banelings actually do find themselves on the front lines here. That Queen's so low from earlier. I don't know if she can still fight. Pardon me, I guess the Transfuse came into play. These 3 Lings are not going to cut it. True does get across the map, but looks like he gets killed on the defense as well. So both players on 12 drones apiece, but True up a hatchery. Again, feeling better for True. So does Armani think the same, and GG gets called.
Good defense. I should say, like, the counter defense, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, actually, for me, what was interesting is I think a lot of players would have pulled back where True pushed forward with those Lings. If he didn't actually get into his opponent's base, I don't know that that defense would have gotten better versus worse, but that was still cool to see.
Yeah, I think a lot of things, like the timings, like the very, very slim timings, and like maybe it was intentional, but like at my level, like I have a hard time imagining like that all of those things went so perfectly well. Where like he sees the Zerglings moving out and just immediately pulls back his Zerglings for a little bit because he has his Overlord there. And it's like, I'm gonna wait like an extra 10 seconds because then you're gonna be totally out of position. Finding the Banelings at the exact right time was actually a really nice find as well. Like all these things just went really, really right for him at like the absolute perfect moment.
Yeah. All right, well, we're going to go to a small break when we get to Game 4. It could decide everything after all. 2-1 now in the favor of True. We'll see you guys in 2 minutes. All right, folks, game number 4 kicking off here for the Olimoleague Grand Finals. And it is, interestingly, not an early pull out of either player. Overlord's in the production tab, making me go, what? As it is Orena, after all. I'm Rifkin casting with Fear Dragon, and if you're just joining us, this is, sadly, almost the end of the cast. The winner of this game could determine it all. If it's him, though, in the top left, this will go to the ace match, as he's down in the series currently. The Red Zerg Armani.
And in the bottom left, at match point, 1 game away from taking the Grand Finals of the Olimoleague, it's Sidestorm Gaming's True.
Now that straw poll we put up is still going to be open, and I'll wait to see what the determination is at the end of stream, but currently the winning vote is /host the WCS EU Regional Challengers, so that's totally cool with me, guys. Like I said, whatever the majority is on that straw poll is what we'll do at the end of the stream. But Fear Dragon, just before we get completely done with things, in case I forget my manners later, I want to thank you for casting with me this morning. I hope you've had a good time.
I did have a good time. And, you know, I want to actually say something, because I know people were actually saying this yesterday, and I think I saw earlier on a little bit of it, where people are like, God, Rifkin's such a mean person, he's being so mean to Fear. No, Rifkin's being really nice to me today. He's being really nice to me today and yesterday. I'm so happy about it.
Like, you guys have to understand, there's tough love when it comes to me and Fear Dragon. And sometimes, instead of saying, shut the fuck up, I'll be like, interesting point, Fear Dragon. Moving on. And you guys have to interpret that. It's actually, you know, I was talking to a friend who actually, I guess I won't name, but like works in a corporate workspace and all that, right? And I had mentioned the whole, when you become an adult, fuck you in the workplace becomes okay, great instead. And he had never heard that before in his life. And I guess now he's been saying "okay, great" a lot. while at work.
I could totally see that being the case. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've worked in like quasi-work hostile environments that are just full of really passive-aggressive people.
I imagine your previous boss at your previous job, you had a lot of "okay, great" moments with. I don't know if we can.
Yeah,
name it, so
I don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about it too much on stream or anything, just because, you know. But like, yeah, there were some moments that I was like, yeah, cool. But you know what? Actually,
cool. Because here's the thing. Yeah, cool is like submissive and whatever. But "okay, great," that's just really like, yeah, okay, fuck you.
But I actually want to talk about the fact that we had a really, really fast tech up to Roaches over here for Armani, where he is just going to be foregoing any of the baneling aggression or anything like that.
But this for me is really not so strange. It is Orena. You would expect this, I would say. The argument can be made, even if you aren't going aggressive with Roaches, pumping some out early to have that defensive concave on this choke is awesome. True's not underestimating this, though. He saw it with the Ling Scout. They died, unfortunately, but throws down 2 Spine Crawlers. Lings and Spines can actually fight the low amounts of Roaches until his own Roaches are available, but this, for our Armani, is a very dedicated attack. Now, we're not quite hitting stages of all-in, as he is still droning out behind us, but it is, again, an attack that could be quite dangerous for True if he was unprepared.
Yeah, the Spine Crow is definitely going to help out a good bit. As the Roach Warden just finished up, he only has 2 guys in gas, which I think is going to cut into his Roach production a little bit. So he's going to, I mean, he'll be able to get out some Roaches, but he's not going to be producing at the same rate Armani is, and definitely not going to have enough gas for Ravagers. All right, now he's putting 3 guys in gas. But True keeps an eye out on that 3rd expansion for Armani, sees that it's not been taken yet, so taking his own, he's going to feel probably a little bit better, especially considering the aggression didn't really seem to come just yet. Or at all.
Yeah, it's certainly a little bit odd, because, I mean, he saw how quick those Roaches came, and I guess the question should have been more like how many Roaches were going to be coming, but regardless of whether this went in a direction that was going to be super scary or not, I mean, again, we talked about it, True threw down the Spines, he was prepared for it. 3rds are kind of synced up. It's not hugely devastating how late any of this is. The Evo Chamber I actually really curious in on True on which direction he decides to invest in, though. We've seen players actually go Roaches and still go with +1 melee, and a lot of that has to do with what their late game plans are and what run-by plans are, because it's a lot easier to get a bunch of Lings through than, say, Roaches. But looks like he will be throwing that +1 ranged weapon upgrade.
Yeah, kind of interesting, though, that Armani's not making more Roaches right now. He's making a ton of Zerglings, and with Speed going to be finishing up, I feel like he's going to be getting really aggressive.
All right, hang on real quick. We got to go back to the 3-minute delay thing here. Someone says, okay, but LOL, really, what workplace do you say fuck you to your coworkers? This one right here, I've said fuck you to Fear Dragon like 6 times in this cast alone.
Yeah.
Actually,
hostile work environment.
I could say, as a banquet server, which I did really high profile like weddings and stuff. As a dishwasher in the kitchen, there's a lot of cussing going around. As a security guard, and when I worked in an assembly line in a factory, those are all places where there's a lot of cussing going on in the workplace, and not necessarily a hostile work environment, but just that's just the environment itself.
Yeah, I gotta say, my coworkers right now are like super duper nice though. Like people curse at work. It's not like people don't curse at all, but everyone is very nice to each other for the most part. Or if you're actually upset with someone, you just be really passive aggressive.
Ravager's heading down south. That's a lot of Lings paired up with him. This 3rd base is probably screwed. He decides to pull the drones out of this. Definitely think this is a smart move. Problem is, though, for Armani, he's coming in with a lot of Lings, but almost no Roaches for these Ravagers, so this squishy targets.
Oh my god. The good corrosive vials actually land on a good clump of those drones that are actually in the fight right now.
I really want to stress, if these Ravagers die, the counterattack of Roaches wins the game. I mean, Actually, I take that back. His speed's still not done, but he's going to have +1. Look at that supply difference. Drones died, sure, but Armani still has less. I mean, 16 workers died only to have True remain in the lead. Like, that's not... it's not a great thing.
Yeah, I mean, the damage had to be done over there, but I think having those Ravagers still alive, as you were saying, like, he would have lost the game if he loses those Ravagers, but having them alive now does give him a lot more survivability once he gets out the next wave of Zerglings and Roaches.
The Zerglings are actually going to be a little problematic because there are just so damn many of them. But as he gets on top of the Ravagers, they're squishy. There's not really a lot to buffer for them. And True, okay, he's getting a little bit overzealous with this attack. But again, that +1 weapons is giving him huge leads as he does just focus down each of these Ravagers. Starting to just overwhelm. And I think this is how he's going to win this week's Olimoleague Fear Dragon.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good. GG gets called, and True walks away with the grand prize of, I believe, $100 this week.
Yeah, the Olimoleague is one of the most regular, high-paying prize pool tournaments there are. The Matcherino Cup has certainly paid out more, but that's 3 of them. It's not consistent compared to like the almost 2 years of the Olimoleague. I'll let you decide. But we got to go back to that straw poll, and it actually came down a lot closer than I thought it would. People kind of wanted to see some Overwatch. People want us to host the WCS Regional Challengers. So I think my concession is going to be I'm going to stream some Overwatch on my channel, but we'll host WCS here on BaseTradeTV so you guys can watch it, and we'll get that going. But we got to say our goodbyes really quick to wrap this up anyway, so thank you guys for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the Olimoleague. Make sure to check out the Patreon for it, patreon.com/Olimoleague, as there's really cool rewards, things like replay packs and behind the scenes stuff. Those posters that got sent out last year alone made it worth being a Patreon. I gotta say, like, it was really cool, that commemorative each person who won the Olimoleague type deal. But Fear Dragon, man, I'll let you go first. Do you have any shout-outs, last-minute comments, things you'll be doing in the future where people can find you? The floor is yours. Go.
Yeah, I want to give a shout-out to you, Graham, for bringing me on today.
Don't be that guy. You've ruined it. You've lost your ability to talk. All right, guys, thanks for watching. No, I'm just kidding. Go on.
But yeah, I'm hoping that people will tune in for our cast a little bit later on with the North American stuff that's going to be happening. That's going to be cleaning up or finishing up the DreamHack qualifier, sorry, I should say WCS Challenger League. Since I think people yelled at me, it's a DreamHack thing, but
it's not even league. It's like that's what's so weird. It's like the regional challenger for DreamHack, but also WCS. Like, you're not wrong.
It's an event that takes place over the course of multiple days. You could consider it a league that's just really short-lived.
It's like 2 days, 3 if you count the ladder session.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, the ladder thing itself was only 4 days in and of itself, so, like, maximum of 6 days. Not even a week.
Anyways.
But yeah, we are going to be doing that, and check me out at FearDragon64 on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, MySpace, etc.
Yeah, actually, how many hours is that exactly from now? 5 and 52 minutes. So about 6 hours from now, we'll be back on the channel with more StarCraft 2, guys. Me and Fear Dragon with the rest of the best of 5s to play out tonight. Got to give some love to our sponsors, though, for the channel. Yord, Cheers for Gaming, Corsair, G2A. You guys know the deal. Check them all out. And, of course, for Corsair especially, scroll down below on our page and click those links. Even if you're not planning to buy anything right now, it's going to be what lets them know you came from BaseTradeTV. To answer Selvik in chat real quick, by the way, where can we find out info about Ting 2? Ting Season 2 is absolutely happening. The problem is we don't have confirmed dates yet. We're looking to do it just after DreamHack Tours finishes, because that's when we're assuming, because there's DreamHack Austin, then right afterwards is DreamHack Tours, so we're assuming there's going to be some free space after that, and that's the goal, but we don't have anything locked down just yet. But I'm very excited for Ting Season 2. It's going to be a lot of games. It's going to be really good, and Ting was so happy. I want to point out, by the way, I asked them out of curiosity, our goal to get Season 2 was 40 people signed up on Ting. Since Ting finished, we're at like a total of 78, so people are still signing up through VODs and stuff. So we're already almost ready for Season 3, and we haven't even started for Season 2. Like, that's the idea of how good this is going, guys. So I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited for Ting to come back. But like we said, that ends the stream. So I'm going to go stream some Overwatch on my personal channel, Riff_King. You can check that out in about 5 or 10 minutes. But we'll /host the WCS Regional Challenges here on BaseTradeTV. So have a wonderful day. You'll still get part 2s for hanging out in the channel. Even though we're hosting another channel, you will still get part 2s, guys. So have a good day, everybody, and we'll see you later. Bye.